Good morning, or good evening, depending on when you look at this, I guess, but it's morning here. Terry here. Got an email from a customer's employee today that was kind of naked. No bad pictures, just didn't have anything in it. There was no subject, no signature. It took me a second to figure out who it was just based on the employee's name because they'd never communicated with us before. But the email just had one line of text in it, stated what their problem was, but no way to respond other than just hit reply. And that's all I could do in order to get more information, which is necessary to help them out. So anyway, the thought occurred to me to share some tips with you about email presentation and etiquette. That's just good business, in my opinion. Modern business nowadays, if you don't have a retail environment where you've got customers coming in, seeing them face to face, you're dealing the majority of the time with people either online or via email. How they see you in email is going to be how they see you in general. So make sure you put on a dress and a tie and look real good, all businessy and stuff. So here's just a couple of quick tips. And number one, always put a subject in your email. The recipient, assume that your recipient gets more emails than yours every day. I know I get several hundred emails a day. Pretty much everybody here at Cole Informatics gets a lot of email. Things that don't have subjects don't get looked at. They get buried. Eventually we get around to them, but there's nothing to spark anything for my attention to be applied to it other than it looks suspicious because there's no subject. So always put a subject in. Always include a signature. I'm sure you've seen them. If you don't recognize what I'm talking about, your email program, whether it's Microsoft Outlook, Microsoft Mail, Thunderbird, whatever they have on Macintoshes, that kind of stuff, or webmail, even if you're using that, Gmail, all of these tools have a signature feature in the options somewhere. Go into it and put in your name, your company name, phone number, maybe even your title, favorite scripture, your favorite ball team. Put something in there that's going to be standard on every message that goes out. And you don't have to type it. So you'll hit new message and it'll already be there, stamped on the email. And if you don't want it to be there, you can always delete it, but it's always there. So that'll give people a way to recognize more about who's sending them messages. Consider adding a company disclaimer or a footer, and this may be more for your boss than for you if you're not responsible for this. But medical organizations, healthcare, legal, you've probably seen them. Might be a lot of legalese-looking text, probably a paragraph at the bottom of an email you've gotten that says, this is intended for the recipient named above only. Well, if you forward it and that stamp's on there, you just broke somebody's rule. I don't know about a law, but you broke somebody's rule. It was confidential. It was sent to you. That kind of thing. Those look really professional. In some cases, they're a regulatory necessity. So if you're, again, legal or healthcare, you might want to consider a company footer that as a disclaimer. If you like an example of that, just go to Google and look up email footer or email disclaimer, and you'll see plenty of examples. Also, avoid the use of fancy or type styles or fonts. Scripts, cursive writing in an email, those all look good on your side of the screen, but when the recipient gets it, if they don't have that same font installed on their computer, it's going to look like normal text anyway. The system will revert it back to the lowest common denominator. And again, if that font is not present there, and there's no way to know if it is, it may be something that got added to your computer because of some program you installed, but it's not universally on everybody's computer. It'll revert. So that fancy looking thing you got going on might not show up the way you think it does. Kind of alongside of that are colorful backgrounds or elaborate backgrounds. As far as an email, they'll call them templates or themes. Let me give you a good example. Let's say you've got a blue background or a light blue or something like that. You send it out. The text that you typed on that blue background, you can read fine because it's black on a light blue background, for instance. You send it, and then the recipient gets it and goes to reply. But when they reply, Microsoft Outlook in version 2007, 10, and 13 will all by default change the color of the type to a light blue. So they're typing blue on blue, can't read what they're typing. It's happened to me a bunch. So it makes it an easier thing to deal with if you just keep your emails simple, plain Jane. The fewer attributes graphically that you have in them, the kind of the smoother operation is going to be. It also takes up a lot of space. If you do thousands of emails, mine right now I've got 27,561 unread emails in my inbox. I don't clean my email box out. But 27,000 emails is one thing. 27,000 emails with a colorful background on it is something else entirely. That's a lot of space on a computer. So just be aware of that. So fancy type styles and fonts, try to avoid. Colorful backgrounds, try to avoid. Let's see, what else? That's about it. I was looking at my list. I hope that helps somebody. If you have any questions about anything I've described, if I've talked way too fast, email me offline and or email me and we'll help what we can. If you want help setting up a signature or help setting up a company footer, give me a ring. We'll see what we can do with your system to make that work. If it's something you got to have and your system won't do it, we probably got a solution for that too. This is what we do for a living. So either way, I hope this has helped somebody. If you have any questions about anything, hit me up. Have a good day.